Russia is going to need a bigger boat. That line may have been borrowed from the movie Jaws, but it might give you a sense of the newest threat to Russia's navy. They're being hunted not from the skies, not by warships, and not even by submarines. Instead, they face a threat from a killing machine built in silence, launched in darkness, and guided through the waters of the Black Sea with ruthless precision. It's called the Catran, and it's a surface water apex predator being turned loose by Ukraine, and you're about to find out all about it on this edition of The Military Show. Russia once dominated the Black Sea, but by mid-2024, it had pulled its last major warship from Crimea. Now, Ukraine's newly unveiled Katran unmanned water drone, developed under the Brave One defense initiative, adds to the growing arsenal of systems that made it possible. Codename Shark. Launched in April 2023, Brave One is Ukraine's national defense tech platform designed to accelerate the development of advanced military technologies through collaboration between the government, private sector, and the armed forces. Operated by the Ministry of Digital Transformation and the Ministry of Defense and other Ukrainian government bodies, Brave One, with a budget of $39 million, provides funding, infrastructure, and integration support to startups and defense manufacturers. Its mission is to rapidly transform cutting-edge concepts into deployable battlefield systems, like unmanned vehicles and platforms resistant to electronic warfare. By the end of 2025, Brave One aims to have fielded dozens of innovations across Ukraine's front lines. It's become a symbol of how Ukraine turns tech into a tactical advantage and fast, and Catran is one of its flagship achievements. Mikhailo Fedorov, Ukraine's deputy prime minister and digital warfare strategist, unveiled the Catran on his official Telegram channel. With a silhouette that mirrors a robotic predator and a mission profile designed for ship-killing stealth, Catran is already redefining modern naval warfare. When Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, it quickly asserted naval dominance over the Black Sea. The Russian Black Sea Fleet, comprised of approximately 80 vessels including frigates, corvettes, submarines, and landing ships, was a formidable force, boasting around 25,000 personnel. In stark contrast, the Ukrainian Navy was significantly smaller, with about 15,000 personnel, including 6,000 naval infantry and a modest fleet primarily consisting of patrol boats and support vessels. This disparity allowed Russia to blockade Ukrainian ports, threaten assaults along the southern coast, and launch missile strikes from its warships. So with no fleet to match Russia's armada, Ukraine simply rewrote the rules of naval warfare. It ditched tradition and embraced innovation with a lethal focus. Instead of ships, it deployed machines, unmanned surface and surface water drones that began hunting Russia's fleet with relentless precision. It started with the Sea Baby and Modular V5. Small, fast, surface-level drones packed with explosives and piloted remotely via satellite. These drones hit Sevastopol in October 2022, which became the world's first major sea drone attack. Ukrainian drones damaged the frigate Admiral Makarov and multiple auxiliary vessels, slipping past Russian radar and launching one of the most humiliating naval strikes in modern naval history. By mid-2023, Ukraine had turned these drones into a reliable strike force. They disabled the Olenigorsky Gornyak landing ship in Novorossiysk, hundreds of miles from the Ukrainian-controlled shores. They struck the Russian oil tanker SIG, which was supporting military logistics. They attacked bridges and piers, surveillance stations, and even docked vessels under the cover of darkness. Each successful hit exposed the same truth. Russia's traditional navy was not equipped to defend against swarms of cheap, precise, unmanned vessels. The Black Sea Fleet, once a symbol of dominance, suddenly found itself under siege by remote-controlled craft no bigger than a jet ski, but loaded with the firepower of a torpedo. These asymmetric weapons didn't just challenge Russian naval supremacy, they shredded it. And as Ukraine refined its technology, it pushed the war beneath the waves. Because as effective as surface drones were, they had limitations. They could be seen, they could be heard, and they could be taken out. That's when the Catran entered the fight. It's an unmanned surface vessel, silent, fast, and low profile. Operating just above the waves, the Catran is invisible to radar and too nimble for conventional defenses to intercept. Built under Ukraine's Brave One defense initiative, it represents the next stage in naval drone warfare. Unlike bulkier surface ships, the Catran can cruise for over 1,000 kilometers, strike at speeds of 130 kilometers per hour, and when armed with explosive warheads or NATO-compatible torpedoes, take out a ship with a devastating hit below the waterline. It's like nothing Russia has ever seen before. Designed to slip past optical surveillance and most conventional anti-drone defenses, it can approach targets with stealth and speed, delivering devastating strikes near or below the waterline. While it doesn't dive like a submarine, its ability to evade detection and deliver explosive payloads gives it a strategic edge in contested waters like the Black Sea, where every second and every sensor counts. But if its stealth is impressive, its range is something else entirely. The Catran has an operational range of over 620 miles, one of its most impressive features. This long-range capability means it can be launched from far behind friendly lines, navigate autonomously through open water, and still reach heavily defended naval targets deep inside Russian-controlled zones. Its ability to cover vast distances without the need for a mothership or relay station significantly enhances Ukraine's ability to carry out high-risk maritime operations without exposing its own personnel or infrastructure, and it can deliver all this at speed. Catran is also fast. With an estimated top speed of around 80 miles per hour, it can rapidly close in on a target or reposition to avoid interception. This level of speed makes it difficult to track and neutralize once it's detected. Most defensive systems are calibrated for slower-moving submersibles or surface drones, giving Catran a decisive advantage in contested environments. And not only is it lightning fast, it's quiet. Powered by electric propulsion, it glides over the water in near total silence. This low-noise profile is critical in naval operations, where detection can mean destruction. The electric system minimizes not just sound, but also thermal and magnetic signatures, making it incredibly difficult to track with radar, infrared, or magnetometers. It doesn't announce its presence, it simply stalks, then strikes. And when it does strike, it hits like a hammer. The Catran isn't a kamikaze, it's a reusable naval drone capable of carrying serious firepower, including guided torpedoes, machine guns, miniguns, and even man-portable air defense systems. With Swedish-supplied Torpedo 47s, for example, it can target ships or submarines from over 12 miles away, delivering a 110-pound warhead with surgical precision. Making it even more lethal is the fact that it's modular. The Catran can swap its warhead for mission-specific loads. That includes NATO standard munitions like Sweden's Torpedo 47, a smart, lightweight torpedo designed to track and destroy enemy vessels with surgical precision. That transforms the Catran from a silent swimmer into a guided missile, one that doesn't miss. But even the most lethal payload is useless without control, and that's where the Catran's brain kicks in. This drone isn't just dangerous, it's autonomous. It uses satellite-linked GPS, inertial guidance, and advanced obstacle avoidance algorithms to find its way through hostile waters. Even when the GPS is jammed, which is something Russia tries to do constantly, the Catran keeps going. It can pre-map routes, react to threats in real time, and even loiter silently near enemy positions until it's time to strike. That makes it perfect for both intelligence gathering and high-value kills. And the Catran doesn't really need a home base. It doesn't need to be launched from a warship or a submarine. It can be launched from a truck, a coastal platform, or a hidden pier. Which is something else that makes it dangerous, because Russia doesn't know where it's coming from or when. What makes the Catran even more formidable is its capacity to integrate NATO standard munitions. The Torpedo 45, a 400mm torpedo, combines active-passive hydroacoustic homing with wire guidance, allowing for precise targeting in challenging environments. Its electric DC motor propels it silently, making it ideal for stealth operations. The torpedo's design enables launches from various platforms including submarines, surface vessels, and helicopters, and its warhead is potent enough to neutralize conventional submarines or severely damage light surface vessels. Building upon the Torpedo 45's foundation, the Torpedo 47 introduces a fully digital homing system, enhanced wire-guided and fire-and-forget capabilities, and improved performance in both shallow and deep waters. It boasts a range exceeding 12 miles and can operate at depths greater than 300 meters. The Torpedo 47's modular design and advanced guidance systems make it a formidable addition to the Catran's arsenal. The integration of these torpedoes into the Catran transforms it from a surveillance platform into a formidable offensive weapon. And while the precise cost of the Catran remains undisclosed, it's undoubtedly a fraction of the value of the Russian warships it targets. With the ability to carry and deploy such advanced munitions, Catran can engage high-value targets with precision, altering the dynamics of naval engagements in the Black Sea. This shift to stealthy, fast surface drones means that Russian vessels now have to defend against more agile, lower-profile threats skimming just above the waterline. It isn't enough to post machine gunners on the deck or deploy electronic jammers. Russia now has to fortify its ports, enhance radar and visual surveillance near the surface, and reposition key naval assets to avoid ambush from robotic hunters that strike fast, low, and often unseen until it's too late. As Ukraine's unmanned systems continue to inflict damage across the Black Sea, concern within Russian ranks is growing. The effectiveness of platforms like the Catran had clearly shifted the strategic balance, forcing Russia to reassess its naval deployments and technological posture. Dmitry Rogozin, a senior Russian-installed official in occupied Zaporizhia Oblast, publicly acknowledged the impact, stating that the Black Sea Fleet had been forced to change basically its residence due to the fact that our large ships become just big targets for unmanned enemy boats. In a candid interview with Moskovsky Komsomolets, Rogozin emphasized the urgency of adapting to this new era of warfare. "A military technical revolution is taking place before our very eyes," he said, calling for greater investment in drone capabilities, the formal organization of military drone units, and advancements in electronic warfare and satellite positioning systems. His remarks reflected a broader realization within Russia's defense establishment. Ukraine's growing drone fleet was not only reshaping the maritime battlefield, but also exposing critical vulnerabilities in traditional naval doctrine. It makes clear that Russia has deep concerns about something that began as a desperate innovation but has turned into a dominating threat at sea. This isn't just a drone, it's a precision-engineered naval predator built to stalk and strike Russian vessels with lethal efficiency. And that's why this robotic shark is tearing into what's left of Russia's Black Sea fleet. But make no mistake, Russia isn't just sitting back while its fleet gets shredded. They've tried to fight back, tried to hunt the Catran, but with limited results. First, they turned to electronic warfare. As mentioned, Russia deploys GPS jammers, scrambling satellite signals across the Black Sea, hoping to blind incoming drones before they can strike. But the Catran doesn't rely on GPS alone. It's equipped with autonomous navigation systems and likely includes inertial guidance and onboard control algorithms, making it capable of continuing its mission even in jammed zones. It doesn't stop, it adapts, it hunts. Then came the guns. Russian patrol boats and coastal defenses began scanning the waves. Naval gunners stood watch for fast, low-profile intruders. Attack helicopters were deployed over port approaches and shipping lanes, armed with rockets and machine guns. They were ordered to shoot on sight anything fast, small, and flagless. But it wasn't enough. Ukraine's naval drones, like the Modular V5, proved too fast, too stealthy. By the time Russian forces spotted them, they were already in striking range, too late to stop the detonation. Russia scrambled to adapt, coastal defenses were reinforced, naval helicopters began patrolling key approach routes, sonar nets were stretched across harbor mouths. In one bizarre twist, Russia even deployed trained dolphins meant to detect enemy divers at its naval base in Sevastopol. And still, the drones kept getting through. Ukraine's sea drones have Russia in deep water. According to reports from the Kyiv Independent, Ukrainian naval forces have destroyed 5 Russian warships and over 450 watercraft in 2024 alone. These figures underscore the growing impact of drone warfare at sea, where unmanned platforms are not just supplementing traditional forces, they're dominating engagements. From patrol boats to logistics vessels, Russia's fleet has become increasingly vulnerable to these low-cost, high-precision threats launched from the surface. The Catran's development reflects a new philosophy in warfare, and the head of Ukraine's military intelligence, Kyrylo Budanov, admits to its success. "This equipment works. This is the most important thing. A third of the destroyed combat potential of the Russian Black Sea fleet is the most decent indicator." Ukraine's success with its USVs has not gone unnoticed by the rest of the world. NATO allies, particularly the United States, are observing Ukraine's tactics closely. The broader implications are that naval warfare, traditionally dominated by billion-dollar destroyers and aircraft carriers, is being reshaped by small, smart, and affordable systems. The Catran drones can operate independently, in swarms, or in coordination with aerial and surface assets. They require no human crew, pose no political risk if destroyed, and can be rapidly deployed in contested waters. Their modular design allows for swift reconfiguration depending on the mission, from torpedo strikes to sabotage. In this evolving battlefield, dominance at sea is no longer determined solely by the size of one's fleet, but by the ability to innovate, adapt, and strike with precision. The Catran exemplifies this new era of naval warfare: silent, lethal, and transformative. Russia's Black Sea fleet was never supposed to be vulnerable. It was supposed to be untouchable, anchored deep behind defensive lines, supported by air cover, boom nets, radar systems, and warships with billion-dollar price tags. But the attacks still come. Ukraine, outgunned and outnumbered, hasn't just survived, it's evolved, and began sinking Russia's fleet not with an armada or aircraft carriers, but with Neptune missiles and a new generation of deadly sea drones like the Modular V5 and Sea Baby. And the Catran is just the beginning.